and welcome to a brand new episode of your favorite breakfast show. We're going to start by saying a big congratulations to every single Nigerian, every African contributing their quota to putting our name on the global map.
Brother boy! Sorry. Now, the only limits to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. What you lack in talent can be made up with for, desire, hustle, and giving 110% all the time.
Yes, so a fantastic 1 hour, 45 minutes is about to kick off, and to help get the ball rolling for the day, let us introduce the one, the only, Topilolo!
Yes, guys, my boyfriend won the Grammys. Thank you so much, guys. I'm getting married to him, so if you want to come true for the wedding, you better be my friend now.
Wedding,
better be my friend now. Yes.
That's good.
Hey,
that's good.
I'm getting married to
Damini.
I want to cram his name. So here you see Mrs. Damini.
Wow.
Now we win Grammy. Thanks.
Wow.
It's okay.
Moving on.
Wow.
Yes,
Interesting.
welcome to our chef as well, Chef Taiwo. How you doing?
Thank you.
Let's just save the juicy things we're cooking for later. All right, over to you guys.
When you see chefs like that,
They're
looking like
quiet.
they're ready to work, you know that he's going to have a spread. Like, you can't wait.
Definitely. Well, hey, guess what? There is so much we got lined up for you today for your viewing delight. You just have to stay with us for the next 1 hour and 45 minutes. And trust us, it's going to be...
Now, we're all in high spirits, and we hope the energy rubs off on you. And it's a Super Tuesday in the neighborhood, and it's tailored just for you, so you need to stay close.
Oh, and by the way, it's still International Women's Month, the entire March. So I guess this week we're still going to continue, in the light of that, celebrating all the wonderful women across the world, especially here in Nigeria. That includes two of you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So am I actually included this time? Remember?
Yes, I just said so.
Yeah, yesterday you didn't include me, but it's fine.
I'm including you now.
And the name he forgot to include was Titilayo Oyinson.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. Remember, you can use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria across all social media platforms to be a part of the show. I said already, Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Yeah, you need to watch us from anywhere you can. Now, if you have a mobile device, of course, anyone, tablet, phone, just go to Google Play Store or, in fact, iOS and download our app so you can watch us from anywhere.
Oh, and by the way, we also implore you to follow us across all these social media platforms of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. We are at TVC Connect. Now, for what we have lined up for you today, let's tell them, shall we?
Yes, so we have an amazing doctor from Dr. Connect coming in. Now, Dr. Diron is really, really great. He's going to be having a really interesting conversation with us. He's all about the tech, really, how you get tech and healthcare to come together, and we're going to be talking about that later on.
Interesting. And right after that, we will be enjoying some beautiful music from Afro-pop artist and songwriter Henry Emma, popularly known as Baby Boy Paris, whose music is flavored with captivating love and life themes.
Femi Shofolue, thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher with more than a decade hands-on experience with a burning desire to see the average youth become an exceptional young adult, will be here discussing how to parent an adolescent.
And finally, on the show here today, we will have an interesting guest, Okoro Blessing Nkiruka, a certified controversial, by the way, very controversial relationship and mental expert. Blessing, she's a CEO at, she's fondly called that, by the way, and she'll be joining us today later on to talk, and I bet you it's going to be quite the tease. Alrighty then.
Hi guys.
Morning.
Good morning. You
I like
are
your
looking
shirt.
quite the tease yourself.
Thanks.
I like Not bad. You're also looking good too, by the way.
Thank you.
Just so that she doesn't, you know what she gets like.
Yeah, we know
I will come for you.
We know Titi.
I will come for you. But
Oh,
you
boy.
know, there was something we talked about this morning.
I didn't want to start that way, but it's a very, very depressing note for me, especially because,
Wow.
age
The
is,
average life expectancy
in Africa.
is what?
There's this list by Facts on Africa that told about the average life expectancy per country.
Yeah.
And guess what the life expectancy for Nigeria is?
45.
That's too close. Actually, it's not too far. You're not too far from it.
Yeah.
54. 54.
54.
So after 54, you are blessed.
Well, mostly
Yes.
no blessed.
It's just an average thing. It's just an average thing. But on a happier note, we have a birthday shout out to give.
Oh, celebrating life, I guess.
Yes, celebrating right here at TVC Communications is the one and only commercial director, Mr. Ronan Redmond. Yes, happy birthday, Ronan. Now, this gentleman is very, very key. He's been on the show before quite a few times,
Yeah.
giving tips for people that want to go into marketing
I think I
and
remember.
understanding their brands and all that.
He's a fire marketer
Yeah.
himself, by
Yes,
the way,
he
I
is.
must say.
It's someone that, you know when they say someone can sell ice to
An
an
Eskimo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you be believing in yourself just by listening to him. I
Yeah.
think he should write a book. He should
Yeah.
write a book. Yeah,
I find
happy
out when I
birthday.
spend a little time with him, I come off sounding a bit like him. Trying to really the accent thing. I never get it right.
But you're close.
I'm close, yeah.
You're close.
So,
you're close.
Mazino, for movie reviews on Friday, please let's do Behind Her Eyes.
I started it.
You need to finish it.
Now,
Oh my God.
I'm
The
still...
whole show is at the end. The last 3 minutes of the show is the entire show.
Now, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I got a bit confused yesterday when I started it because she's suffering from she
No,
sleepwalks.
it's not what you think.
It's not. I can't tell you what
It's
it is.
not what you think.
And I'm so happy that everybody that's told me about it never spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
So I
you
can't spoil it for you.
Yeah.
You need
But-
to, because when you read the end, you're just like, what just happened?
I think I don't want to. Can I make a guess?
What?
I think she's dreaming the entire show.
No, you're nowhere near.
You've seen all of it,
Yes, I watched the whole thing.
really?
And
No, man.
it actually gives you a lot to think about and reminds you of things that they warned you about when you were a child, like the walls have ears.
Ear. Oh, no.
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
I started thinking that maybe I can have some powers.
Yeah.
I can try this.
It's a superhero series.
No.
Just watch it.
Well, just watch it.
Just watch it.
Okay,
And
well-
we're not going to spoil anything for you, but you should tell us what you found out when you watched
Watched
it.
it, yeah.
All right. Welcome. My name is Mazino Appeal. Let's start with the news, and we stay with security updates in Borno State, where the Nigerian armed forces are battling to ensure an end to crimes and criminalities perpetrated by suspected Boko Haram and ISWAP elements. For 12 years and still counting, the Nigerian government has been battling to bring the fight against terrorism to an end. And a few days after the Nigerian troops were attacked by Boko Haram, no fewer than 41 terrorists have been killed in a fighting patrol along Goa and Musuri in Gamboru, Angala local government area of Borno State. The Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima, who disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday, said the operation occurred earlier yesterday. Items recovered from the insurgents include 12 AK-47 rifles, 8 Fabric National rifles, and a motorcycle, 6 bicycles, mechanical toolboxes, a sewing machine, a large quantity of batteries used for making of improvised explosive devices, and sex enhancement drugs, amongst others. The Army spokesman also reiterated the commitment of the troops in ridding the entire country of terrorists. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, has commended the troops, asking them to keep up the tempo. And in Kaduna, barely 18 hours after a report of another kidnap of pupils and teachers in the primary school in Birnin-Gwari local government area broke, the government is saying only 3 teachers were kidnapped, with no pupils missing. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arua, confirmed this earlier yesterday while giving an update on the latest incident. Ms. Arua noted that no pupil was kidnapped or declared missing after a head count was conducted. The latest attack followed the attempt by bandits to attack the 3 schools in the state at the secondary and tertiary levels. According to residents, the gunmen came on 12 motorcycles while pupils were trooping into school in the morning. Kaduna State has witnessed not less than 4 attacks on educational institutions in the last 1 week.
3 teachers of the Rima Primary School, Birnin-Gwari, have been kidnapped. And following thorough checks, we can verify that no pupil was kidnapped.
And now from the north down to the south, where 2 female students of Olabisi Onabanjo University have been kidnapped by gunmen. Reports say the victims, Precious Adeyemo and Abiola Oyefule, were abducted while returning to their hall of residence in the Ayetoro campus of the institution, Yewa North local government area. According to the police public relations officer DSP Abimbola Oyeyemi, a manhunt has been launched to rescue the victims, manhunt and reunite them with their families. He also confirmed that the abducted students, Adeyemo Precious and Oyefule Abiola, are of the Departments of Forestry and Wildlife Management and Agricultural Economics, respectively. It was gathered that the abductors are demanding a 50 million naira ransom for the release of the students. Residents said the abductors linked up with the relatives of the victims through their phones. And as part of operational visits to the Northwest Sub-region, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, visited troops of Sector 2 Operation Lafia Dole of the Nigerian Army in Damaturu, Yobe State capital. While addressing soldiers on their tenacity in the fight against the insurgents, the Army boss promised to address challenges faced by troops in order to boost their morale in the theater of operations. While the troops prepare to launch the second phase of Operation Tura Takai Bango, the Army chief charged the soldiers to go out and push the terrorists to their limits in order to bring lasting peace and tranquility to the northeast and Nigeria entirely.
As your Chief of Army Staff, I'm here to take cognizance and note of the challenges you have and ensure they are addressed. To ensure you have the highest level of morale to be able to do your job and do it proudly.
Very interesting stuff in the news here today, but unfortunately we can only bring you the headlines making rounds on the front pages of the dailies, but not to worry, we'll bring those to you. And this morning we're going to start from the Punch newspaper. First big headline hitting us this morning: AstraZeneca fear vaccinations suffer setback, 5 more countries halt exercise, they say. Now, Spain, Germany, France, Italy, Holland pause rollout. PTF admits global opposition to vaccine mounting, and over 8,000 Nigerians vaccinated already, say the NPHCDA. Also, photo story here for the Punch newspaper: officials of the Nigerian Customs Service, Ogun 1 Command, during a display of marijuana and other hard drugs seized by the command at Idiroko, Ogun State on Monday. Idiroko, by the way, is the last Nigerian town just before the border. Moving on now, for the Punch newspaper: Nigeria's public debt rose to 32.9 trillion naira in December, say DMO, and suspected herdsman tie Oyo farmer to tree, kill him with machete. Very sad on page 11. Finally, on the Punch: CAN tackles FG in court over Kama, assembles 30 lawyers. That's as much as we can take for the Punch. Let's move on now to our next paper, The Nation. This morning, how Amotekun can secure Southwest by Afenifere. Governors should arm security outfit. Ogun University students kidnapped, teachers abducted in Kaduna. At the top of The Nation, David O. Burna Boy Wizkid Grammy is victory for Nigeria. Yes, it is. Usher family of 6 killed inside mosque. Victim buried in Kwara. And CBN directs banks to begin scan-to-pay system. 322 million naira fraud. Senator knows fate April 19. At the bottom of The Nation newspaper this morning: CAN sues federal government over Kama. Outrage over detention of Nigerian. And finally, NBS unemployment rose to 33.3% in Q4. That's the last quarter of 2020. Let's move to our next daily for the morning, and we move on now to The Guardian newspaper and everybody's fear. First big headline here: PMS pricing. Stakeholders lament government's indecision and pays 55 billion naira subsidy on 2.9 billion litres of petrol in February and March. Down the front page of The Guardian photo story here: Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Adeni Adebayo, Chief of Staff Professor Ibrahim Gambari, President Muhammadu Buhari, and Director General of WTO Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, CDA NATO Dr. Adamu, all here during the courtesy visit by Okonjo-Iweala to the president in Abuja yesterday. Very funny courtesy visit. Anyway, yes, she is visiting, even if it is her country. And finally, for The Guardian, gunmen continue unrestrained raids and killings. I'm going to find these stories and read from the dailies this morning. Very interesting ones, some of them really sad. If you do have a comment, do make sure that you also tag us. We'd like to see your comments on all of these headlines. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Now let's take a trip to Couples, or rather Single Street. And if you live on Single Street, these are the people you will meet. This is the person that will say hello, goodbye, hello.
So if you didn't have that song in
She's
your childhood, no, that was that Sesame Street?
No, it was Pigeon Street.
Oh my goodness,
Pigeon Street.
Yes,
it's well, if you were born in the 80s, you'd know it, but all you young people.
You young. You are really
anyway,
young.
so Tokwe told us something. I am young.
Yeah, he's young.
Tomorrow marks the date, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, there's something very interesting that Tokwe brought to our note over the weekend on Single Street, and it's about this video that made rounds over the weekend about this. Well, they were going to be a potential couple, but I don't think they're a couple anymore.
Nah.
But a young lady comes on Instagram to say, hey, went out on a date, and this funny character asks me, what is your 5-year plan? And the guy is like, oh, wool up, I'm not going to
No, and then before the guy replies,
Yeah.
she now says, ha, 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 ha. If we're going to be cracking each other up, let me ask you, what's your retirement plan?
Exactly.
And she
What's
said it
your
was funny.
retirement plan?
Well, the guy now did this. He went back on Instagram and said, yes, it was me. And there was nothing wrong with asking what your
Nothing.
5-year plan was.
Yes,
I mean, hey.
I support him.
So
Wow.
we're like, let's talk about this. I mean, is it wrong
gotta
to
have a
ask
5-year
your
plan.
potential partner what their 5-year plan is on the first date?
Nah, bruh. It's
Well,
not.
so for you, so it depends. People are different. People are different. I am of the opinion that there is no question too big for the first date.
Exactly.
In today's day and age, if
Yes.
some people can go on a first date and, in quotes, get down on the first date.
Maybe it's not even date safe. They just reach there.
So if you can go that far, I don't think conversations like that, I don't think it's too early to have that kind of conversation.
And
Because, for instance, now, if you do decide to get down on the first date, what if a baby comes from that getting down? Isn't it a serious matter? If he hadn't had his 5-year plan in place by then, and you have a baby on the way, hello, what's going on?
You've got a strong opinion on it, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm very for knowing your 5-year plan and your retirement plan, because funny how last week I started thinking about a retirement plan, and I'm not going on any dates. My point is that it comes a time in your life where you begin to reprioritize things.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to have something serious with somebody, from the beginning, you want to know, can we work together? Not to be so spiritual, but can two work together unless they agree? So let's be agreeing from now, we are going on the same direction. Not that I'm telling you, in the next 5 years, I'm looking to maybe leave the country and do something. And you say, oh, no, I'm grounded here for life.
Yeah.
We can't work.
It's possible.
Let me know if I want to spend money on the next date, or if I want to sit down in my house and be feeling
But let's
okay.
check the structure of this date, is what I'm going to ask now. How did it come? We don't know. Weren't
We
with
don't
them. It was
know,
a candlelit and everything, very romantic according to the girl.
Yeah.
And then he pops a question. How did he pop the question? He's
Yeah.
like, okay, wait, okay, that's what I want. So, what's your 5-year plan?
No, but think
How
about
did it
it.
come?
The
Is what I'm
girl,
wondering.
no offense, but I feel like the girl probably does not have a 5-year plan. And if she did have a 5-year plan, that would be a best time to let the brother know that, I got my things messed up together. And so if you want to know my 5-year plan, let me let you know that I have plans for my life. Because you're now saying, so what's your retirement plan? He should have a retirement plan. Do you understand?
I saw a reply to that post that talked about the fact that the girl also could have been on another edge of this particular story. That she knows that she has a 5-year plan, but it is not for him to ask her.
Well, hey, you don't need to come off that way. You came at brother sideways with everything.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, she also could have been sarcastic in that video, saying, look, I know I have my 5-year plan, but it's not for you to ask me what it is.
I think one thing we're actually not really talking about is whether that first date was the absolute time to tell. To ask that question. Was it inappropriate? Maybe a second date, maybe at the end of the date.
I actually think maybe the guy didn't have anything to talk about. He was boring.
Hey, we're
he was
still
a
going
dry
to talk
guy.
about this, especially on social media.
She was boring.
Get type and tell us what you think. We have that post up already. We're going to get back and then check some of the responses out. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'll be right back.
All right, then. You're in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. And we have Chef Ty in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So I can see you're already hard at work. You're already making things happen here. But for those that are tuning in right now, they're wondering, what are we making? So talk to us. What are we making this morning?
We are making unripe plantain with vegetable sauce.
Unripe plantain.
With vegetable sauce.
Okay. So is this plantain sautéed, fried? What
Just
is
boiled.
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 Okay. All right.
Simple boiled.
So who did you have in mind when you decided to make a dish like this? Is it for a young woman, a mom? Is it for kids? What do you have in mind?
Actually, I had myself in mind.
Okay.
Because lately I've had to start taking healthy meals.
Okay.
Because I had an experience last year. So I had to start watching every meal I take.
Okay.
So I decided to start learning and doing healthy meals as opposed to the very oily and fatty ones.
Thank you for mentioning, the health benefits. But since we've touched on that, let's touch on the ingredients for this meal. Let's start from here. What do we have here?
We have what we call pomo.
Okay.
Pomo. We have rounded pepper.
What type of pepper is in here?
Atarodo.
Okay.
We have greens.
Okay.
We have dry fish. We have crayfish. We have locust beans.
Locust beans. Okay, Iru. There are different types of locust beans. Is there a special type you're using for this?
No, not just nothing special about it. Just anyone.
Okay,
will do.
Fantastic. I can see that the plantains are already boiling.
Yes.
Is there anything you did to the plantain specifically?
No, I just peeled it and boiled it.
Did you slice it, dice it?
Just cut it in half.
Okay.
So, you can decide to cut it however you like.
All right.
However you take with your fancy.
The pepper in front of us here, did you do anything special to that pepper?
Just grated pepper.
Grated?
Yes.
That's actually different. I've never grated pepper before. Why grating? Why not dice?
Grated pepper looks more finely made.
Okay.
When you dice it, some looks bigger. The goal is for the pepper to blend easier into the vegetable.
All right. Beautiful. So now that you've been cutting these onions, I'm surprised I'm not actually tearing up because the onions have been finely chopped at this point. What is the next thing we need to do for this meal?
Next thing now is to dice the pomo
All right.
and wash the fish.
All right. So once you've cut your onions, start focusing on pomo. Now,
Yes.
pomo sometimes, they have different textures. Sometimes it could be hard. Sometimes it might actually be not so hard. So do you look for a particular...
Yes.
What
The soft ones
Okay.
are better because you don't have to pre-boil them before you use them. So these ones are already washed and cleaned.
I'm always thinking about the cleaning process of pomo.
These ones are washed and cleaned.
From the market, or you did it yourself?
Both sides. So
I'm always worried about that. So once we're done with the pomo, what do we work on next? The fish, I believe.
yes,
right?
fish.
Are we doing anything with the fish
I
specifically?
just breaking it up, rinsing and breaking it up.
All right, beautiful. While we get on with the prepping of this particular meal, talking about unripe plantain and vegetable sauce, we're going to be heading over to Mazino.
Well, alrighty then. So, welcome. Now, let's talk health. And on health today, we have Dr. Dira Onifade, the Chief Medical Officer at Dr. Connect, a health tech company on a mission to making quality healthcare deliverable to everybody via your mobile phone. Now, he's going to be shedding some light on something salient today, talking about the importance of regular medical checks is what he's going to be doing. Now, you're welcome, Dr. Dira.
Thank you.
Good to have you here today. Fantastic. Now, today's topic is very, very interesting for me because, I mean, the importance of regular medical checks, this is something that not everybody actually does. We know we should do it, but we are often very either lackadaisical about it or just like, I don't want to find out all those things because it's always sometimes bad news. True. But how important is it for people to actually get regular medical checks?
Okay. The importance of regular medical checks cannot be overemphasized. It's really very important, and unfortunately, most people are doing it wrongly, even those that are doing it. Because we don't want to call it yearly checks like what people call it. We call it health assessment. Because if you call it regular medical checks like what everybody call it, you do it in a way that you are not testing the right thing you should be testing. Why should I want to test what is not going to affect you? Why do I want to test what, even if I find out I'm not going to be able to do anything about it? So there are some parameters you need to look on when we want to do this health assessment for people. Like in some offices, they say they want to do executive checks for maybe their VIP staff and all that. So, but what we do is that there are 3 factors we look at. One, what is the cost of this to the patient? Are we going to be able to alter the course of this disease if we discover anything? Then we look at if this thing is not going to affect the quality of your life, then why go for it?
Yeah.
So that's what we've been able to do with Dr. Connect. And when you come to us, we just don't say this thing is very important for you to do, but why is it important? And if you detect it, can we alter the course of this thing?
Okay, so 2 things. Let's start with cost. Now, how expensive or how affordable is it to go for regular checks? The average man now, how affordable is it?
Okay, how affordable it is depends on what exactly are we checking. For example, someone that has a high risk of hypertension, diabetes, and probably stroke and other cardiovascular disease in his family. That kind of person, you want to look into the details of all those things rather than just say, okay, come, do your full blood count, do ECG, do all that. So the cost is relative. It depends on what are we looking for. So, but the technology now, the cost is now so cheap because where you are supposed to be spending like maybe 100K, you're probably spending like 30,000 naira, thereabouts. Because now you
this
use
is per
data.
year, or is this?
Per year, yes.
Per
Now
annum.
we use data. We look like, okay, what has data told us about you? Not what do we feel about you? And that is the good thing when you have data with your fingertips.
Okay.
So you look at this person, that what are the data giving you, and you go for it. So it's really very cheap when we do that.
Okay. Now you're also a tech. Well, you've put a bit of tech into the health thing, so it's
Because that's what we do.
Exactly. Especially now that everything we actually do is, centered around our ability to access information via our phones and all of that. But I have a question regarding lifestyle and these regular checks. Some of these ailments that we find out that we get, especially in latter years, are due to habits that we had when we were younger. Does that make it for a person who has identified that I have so and so? How do you prepare for such an instance for that individual now after going for a check and finding out that you have something that, let me call them a lifestyle disease? How do you prepare for something like that?
Yes, it's simple because there's something we call genealogy in medicine. Genealogy is like a family tree.
Yeah.
So when we take history of the patient, we know that, okay, your dad has this, your mom has this. We trace it down. We see that, okay, these are the things that is peculiar to your family. Then we now start advising you that, okay, you need to modify this. Maybe you smoke, stop smoking. You drink, maybe you reduce your drinking to a particular quantity that is safe for you. Note the 2 words. Smoking, you stop. We don't say reduce.
Okay.
That's one thing that people say, okay, I've reduced my smoking, it's not as bad as before again.
Just stop.
So stop. You
Okay.
stop it. Then reduce alcohol, then exercise. We don't get this exercise thing. And to me, it is the most important thing apart from your diet. You need to exercise, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. So,
do you exercise 30 minutes a day as a doctor and all your heavy schedule?
I do. Most times, if I don't do it in the morning, I do it in the night. I just walk on my street.
So just walk. You don't need to do anything excessive. No dumbbell lifting and all of that. Just walk.
That's fine.
Okay. Well,
that's fine.
Now, that is very interesting. Now, regarding alcohol, how much is too much?
How much is too much depends on
I see you breathed there for a minute.
Yes. Like some people
Are you a
say
drinking
12.
man yourself?
Yeah, I take wine at times.
Wine?
Yes,
Okay.
I take wine at times. But you know the way we drink in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Someone wants to take red wine and will finish like 1 or 2 bottles.
That's too much?
It's too much because you have to take this in with maybe a glass cup. You have they say 12 to 14 ounce. You measure that, convert it to our own calculation. So it's not to be the way we consume it. Someone will go and take like black label and take like 1 bottle, 2. Someone will take like White Walker and finish it at 6. So these things are quite so bad. You don't go that way. You just take like a glass cup, probably like 3 times a week. It's fine.
3 times a week.
Because alcohol in itself has a degree of cardioprotection.
Okay.
Especially red wine, but not the way we consume it here in Nigeria.
Now you're talking about red wine. That's very, Yeah, very fancy. I'm talking about beer now, because that is
That
the
is the
average
common-
man's, go-to after every day. I need a beer to like calm me down, that kind of thing. How
Yes.
much is too much of that?
Like we say, if you don't take more than 2 bottles, 3 bottles in a week, that's fine.
Okay.
But we know most people take 4 sitting
Some
down.
people do it every single day. They
and
end the day.
that is quite, it's very bad.
So these are the lifestyle
That
choices that
increases
actually.
your cholesterol level. That makes you to be very prone to hypertension. That makes you to be prone to diabetes, obesity, and all these things follow. Hypertension, obesity, stroke, and these are the things that is killing our people.
Now, so I've gone for one of these regular checks. If I have identified that I have something maybe wrong with me, maybe liver or kidney, I don't know, and this was my lifestyle, what have I just bought myself into? How do I take care of myself from then on? How expensive does this become? What do I need to do? Well, you've already touched that part.
Yes.
But how does that change my life?
Prevention is very cheap.
So just don't walk into that.
Don't walk into that, because when you get to the intervention, there's something we normally say in our company. We call it the 3 Shons: nutrition, prevention, and intervention. The 3 Shons. So the cheapest part of that chain is prevention. Because even nutrition, most of us will not get it right.
Okay.
That's the truth. Because when you want to give you a diet regimen, don't eat this, don't eat, we can't comply to that.
So how can we make this accessible, these checks you're talking about? I know you're a tech person. You mentioned the accessibility on our phone. Can you touch on that real quick?
Okay, for you to get this, it's quite simple. We have an application that you can download, Dr. Connect. When you download it, we have 8 checks that you can quickly do per year, and you're good.
Okay.
And this thing can be as cheap as 40,000, 20,000, depending what exactly we see that is specific for you.
So it is absolutely necessary that we always get our yearly checks, and that's how we can access
impossible.
it.
It is very, very, very important.
Dr. Connect, make sure you download it, and then they can always reach you. And if you have any questions, do feel free. Make sure you reach out to us, and we'll have Dr. Dira here. Make sure that he gets a response to you in good time before you find out anything wrong with you. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. Thank you very much, Dr. Dira. We don't have too much time, but it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. To stay tuned. It is, of course, Wake Up Nigeria.
Guys, we are in the kitchen with Chef Ty, and he's been patiently waiting to especially show you this particular process. Before we went to the break, we showed you some of the ingredients. Let's go over them one more time. We have pomo here. We have grated pepper. Grated, people, grated. We also have greens. We have fish. Now, I wanted to talk about the fish. What type of fish is this?
Dried fish.
Dried fish. Okay. I can also smell like a smoky flavor here. So I'm loving that. So it looks like it's pre-cooked. It's not raw fish. It's not raw.
Raw.
Okay, fantastic. So what did you do to it here?
I just deboned it and broke it into pieces.
Okay. So the deboning, you wanted it to be like in pieces. You didn't want the fish whole.
No.
Okay. All
But
right.
it's supposed to be a sauce.
All right. Beautiful. So let's begin the mixing process. What goes in first?
First thing that goes in. Just
Is the onions. All right. So that is that palm oil?
that's bleached palm oil.
Bleached palm oil. Okay, fantastic. So
It helps keeps the place of getting smoky.
okay, fantastic. So you have pre-bleached this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want you to heat up.
Oh, you want it to heat up a bit more. Okay, while we're waiting for the oil to heat up a little bit more, please talk to me about this plantain.
This is our unripe plantain. It's already boiled as it is. So that's ready. So what we're waiting for is for the sauce.
Did you add anything to the plantain at all?
Nothing, just salt.
Salt. How much salt are we talking?
Just a pinch of salt.
A pinch of salt.
It's supposed to be a healthy meal. So no point in doing the salting.
All right. So if, for instance, my mother-in-law came around, you know, she doesn't really like salt much. She doesn't
don't
have
have
much
to.
sugar. So I can make something like this for her.
Yes.
All right then. But is this a breakfast? Is it a lunch? Is it a dinner?
It's a breakfast, it's a lunch, it's a dinner.
Anything.
Eat anything. It's light. You can have it with fried yam. You can have it with rice. You can have it with roasted plantain. You can have it with, almost anything.
All right.
So it's very healthy. It's very for any time of the day.
I can hear that oil beginning to sizzle.
Our oil is ready.
Yes.
So this goes in first.
All right. Onions in first. if you're watching from home, please try it at home yourself. Get some unripe plantains, get some iru, get some greens, some crayfish, and try it at home. Make a quick video and send it to us. Just use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. All right, so what goes next?
With our
Pepper.
pepper.
Beautiful.
Once you start with the sauce,
Yeah?
everything happens very fast.
Okay. All right. So now the fish is going in, the oil, pepper in, the fish is going in now. And I have a feeling you're going to go for the pomo next. As you've probably noted on Wake Up Nigeria, a lot of the chefs throw in the greens at the very end. So when you're doing it at home, try that yourself. We are going to be taking a quick break, but there's still so much more right here on Wake Up Nigeria. After a superb first hour, the bar exactly has been raised. But we're up to the task. We're always delivering something better than what we had in the first lap of the show, aren't we?
Yes, indeed, definitely. And we're learning new stuff. Hi, Tokwe, is everything okay? You
Yeah.
all right? You know, just trying to show some genuine care here because that's the way the whole dating game goes now. So I'm learning new
Nice.
ethics and stuff to it.
Nice.
Does that work?
Yeah, that kind of works, but I could see through it, so no. it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Well, you have great teeth. That's all I know.
Well, I know
In
that
any
too.
case,
The chef is cooking. He's put together something
Yo.
really great. Whoa, look at that combo.
Let's open it.
Looks like it's going to come out great, I have to say.
well, hey, we have a lot coming up. There's a lot to do as time waits for no one. So let's get it on. Welcome to the second hour here on Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
A warm welcome to the second hour. This has been tagged the best morning experience on Breakfast TV. So, hey, you don't have anywhere else you need to be.
And of course, we still have a lot in store for you for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's tell them what's coming up. By the way, my name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms. Just comment on every aspect of the show that you like. And remember, you can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world. Just use your mobile app. Download it from Google Play or iOS.
Yes, follow us on those social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at TVC Connect is what it is. Alrighty?
Shortly, we'll be enjoying some beautiful music. We have Afro-pop artist and songwriter Henry Eme, popularly known as Baby Boy.
Paris.
Look at that.
On parenting, Femi Shofolue, a thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher with more than a decade hands-on experience with a burning desire to see an average youth become an exceptional young adult, joins us to talk how to parent an adolescent.
I'm actually very nervous about that.
No.
We also have certified controversial relationship and mental expert talking about Okoro Blessing Nkiruka, popularly known as Blessing CEO. Going to be having a really interesting one. Now we have to say a big happy birthday shout out to
Tessie Hassan.
Tessie Hassan.
Yeah.
Now she is a friend of the house. Happy birthday,
Happy
Tessie.
birthday.
All right, so she is CEO of Clothes Matters.
Yes.
Yeah, Clothes
And
Matters.
she's sending us cake.
She did.
No,
Cake.
this is me just begging with
No.
style. Ah, she gonna have to
We
follow
love cake
the-
on Wake Up Nigeria. We love it. We love it.
Thanks
Happy
for the cake.
birthday.
So let's kind of take a detour off of Single Streets this hour.
To Married Street.
Let's get to Marriage Street.
All right.
Let's talk in-laws for just a very, very
Yeah.
short bit. I'm going to pose this and then we're going to talk about this after
Yeah.
what relationships between married people and their mother-in-laws are because of a very interesting conversation that we had on
Yeah.
our chat group.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Mazino Appeal here. Second time around, let's do the news and let's stay with the security update in Borno State where the Nigerian armed forces are battling to ensure an end to crimes and criminalities perpetrated by suspected Boko Haram and ISWAP elements. Now, for 12 years and still counting, the Nigerian government has been battling to bring the fight against terrorism to an end. And a few days after the Nigerian troops were attacked by Boko Haram, no fewer than 41 terrorists have been killed in a fighting patrol along Goa and Musuri in Gamboru, Ngala local government area of Borno State. The Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Muhammad Yerima, who disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday, said the operation occurred earlier yesterday, and items recovered from the insurgents include 12 AK-47 rifles, 8 fabricated National rifles, a motorcycle, 6 bicycles, mechanical toolboxes, a sewing machine, and large quantity of batteries used for making improvised explosive devices, and also sex enhancement drugs, amongst others. The Army spokesman also reiterated the commitment of the troops in ridding the entire country of the terrorists. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, has commended the troops, asking them to keep up the tempo. In Kaduna, barely 18 hours after a report of another kidnap of pupils and teachers in a primary school in Birnin-Gwari local government area broke, the government is saying only 3 teachers were kidnapped with no pupils missing. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arunwa, confirmed this earlier yesterday while giving an update on the latest incident. Mr. Arunwa noted that no pupil were kidnapped or declared missing after a head count was conducted. The latest attack followed the attempts by bandits to attack 3 schools in the state at the secondary and tertiary levels. According to residents, the gunmen came in 12 motorcycles while pupils were trooping into school in the morning. Kaduna State has witnessed not less than 4 attacks on educational institutions in the last 1 week.
3 teachers of the Rima Primary School, Birnin-Gwari, have been kidnapped. And following thorough checks, we can verify that no pupil was kidnapped.
And from the north down to the south, where 2 female students of Olabisi Onabanjo University have been kidnapped by gunmen. Reports say the victims, Precious Ademo and Abiola Oyefule, were abducted while returning to their hall of residence in the Aitoro campus of the institution, Yewa North local government area. According to the police public relations officer DSP Abimbola Oyeyemi, a manhunt has been launched to rescue the victims and reunite them with their families. He also confirmed that the abducted students, Ademo, Precious and Oyefule Abiola, are of the Departments of Forestry and Wildlife Management and Agricultural Economics, respectively. It was gathered that the abductors are demanding a 50 million naira ransom for the release of the students. Residents said the abductors linked up with their relatives, the relatives of the victims, through their phones. And as part of operational visits to the Northeast Sub-region, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, visited troops of Sector 2, Operation Lafia Dole of the Nigerian Army in Damaturu, Yobe State capital. While addressing soldiers on their tenacity in the fight against the insurgents, the Army boss promised to address challenges faced by troops in order to boost their morale in the theater of operations. While the troops prepared to launch the second phase of Operation Tura Takai Bango, the Army chief charged the soldiers to go out and push the terrorists hard so as to bring lasting peace and tranquility to the northeast and Nigeria entirely.
As your Chief of Army Staff, I'm here to take cognizance and note of the challenges you have and ensure they are addressed. To ensure you have the highest level of morale to be able to do your job and do it proudly as Nigerian soldiers. I'm very pleased your commanders have told me.
All right, then, that's it for the news.
Welcome back. Now, you know there is no Wake Up Nigeria without an amazing morning performance. And it is time for some beautiful music from Afropop artist and songwriter Henry Eme, popularly known as Baby Boy Paris. Now, he's known for his taste in music, which is flavored with captivating love and life themes. Good morning, Baby Boy Paris.
Good morning.
So tell us, who is the person that you are using this captivating love for? Because you know it has to be inspired by someone.
My music is inspired by God. And
You just went there, didn't you?
yeah.
Okay. So what are you performing for us this morning?
My debut single called Zero Tension.
Zero Tension. When did you release it?
About 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So
Yeah,
with God, you got zero tension?
Yeah, I got Zero Tension.
All right, baby boy, blow us away.
Woo! Woo! Thank you so much, Baby Boy Paris. Thank you for that performance. Not bad at all. Going to be looking out for your music from now on. We're moving swiftly on to our parenting segment, and we have Femi Shofolue. He's a thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher, someone with more than a decade hands-on experience with the burning desire to see the average youth become an exceptional young adult. Now, it feels like every young person feels like they're an adult right now, and that's one of the reasons why we're talking about this. How to parent an adolescent. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, first of all, for those that don't know, what is an adolescent and what sort of period in a person's life is that?
Well, according to World Health Organization, based on the recent release, an adolescent is a person between the age of 10 and 19. Before then, it used to be like between 12 and 24.
Okay.
But now, it's between 10 and 19.
Okay, so this is a young person. This is someone who's still living with parents at home, in most cases,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But also has exposure to outside vices, experiences, you know, associations. So how much does your orientation before those years affect who you become in the adolescent period?
Well, it has always been said that the best time to culture and form a person is between the age of 0 and 5.
Okay.
So basically, everything that a person needs to fly or run in life has been formed before they reach the age of 5.
Wow.
However, by the time they reach the age of adolescence, they are no longer taking instruction. They are no longer, let me put it this way, their behavior before the age of adolescence is actually a borrowed behavior, a learned behavior. But once they reach adolescence, they begin to form their own behavior. They begin to build their own, you know, self-behavior and then to become who they are, basically.
So their personality begins
to form at adolescent age.
At adolescent age. So there's a parent watching right now, seeing their beautiful daughter or their handsome young son, you know, celebrate his 11th birthday. What exactly is that parent supposed to expect to happen at this time?
Well, from that age where your son or your daughter celebrates that milestone age, I want to say to you that it's no longer parenting as usual. At this point in time, the rule you cannot follow, don't set.
Wow.
At this stage, they learn more from what they see. They observe more than they listen. That is why almost every parent who has an adolescent will tell you they are not listening. The truth is they don't listen, but they are watching.
Okay.
So whatever you want them to do, just do it. If you want them to have just 1 hour screen time, make sure you don't spend more than that
yourself
on your own phone.
Okay.
If you are spending 6 hours on phone and you're asking them to spend just 1 hour, you are becoming like a tyrant to them. They cannot, you know, put it together. You are being oppressive, basically. That is what it means.
So you've already stepped, you know, into an area I was going to go forward with. It does seem to be a period where a young person begins to rebel.
Definitely.
Against different types of authority, school authority, home parenting authority, even law, the law enforcers out there. But they're also exposed to all sorts of peer pressures. Can we touch on that?
Well, when we talk about this age, of course, it looks like they're actually rebelling. But like I rightly said, they are basically forming their own personality. They are not rebelling.
Okay.
They are forming their personality. And if you don't culture them and nurture them in a way that, you know, they can maximize that moment to build the right personality, it begins to look like they are going against everything laid down, every set rule, every authority. That is how it looks. I think we need to learn how to culture their behavior, how to help them. You see, they are like wildflower. You create a garden for them and allow them to bloom, basically. If you cannot do that, it will look as if they are just kicking against everything we know.
There's probably a parent that's just had an argument with the young person right now, this morning, getting ready for school. And I've read quite a few times that arguing with a young person doesn't work. So instead of arguing with this child or screaming at the child, what does the parent do?
Okay, you see, when at this stage of adolescent, like I said, in fact, the truth is their prefrontal cortex is being formed, and that is the part of the brain that form personality. So at this point, they will be throwing tantrums. A lot of things are happening around them, both in their body, in their mind, and they are just trying to fix it together. An average adolescent day is like you having a bad day at work every day of their life. Believe me. So if you know how that feels, having a bad day at work, and that is how they are living. So a lot of things are happening around them at that time. They will be throwing tantrums. They will be rebelling. But the truth is this, don't ever fight back.
Okay.
If you allow them to cool down, they will realize how silly they are.
Okay.
But if you fight back, you give them the legitimate power to act against you.
Okay.
They will forget about the fact that they are throwing tantrum. They forget about the fact that they have been misbehaving, but they will capitalize on the fact that you are yelling. And that becomes the battleground for them to rebel more and go against every instruction you give. So this time, you need to be very, very patient as a parent.
So young people spend most of their day in school. You see them as parents, you see them in the morning before they go, and maybe for 1 or 2 hours when you get back from work. So that period during the school hours is very, very important. And there's a lot of truancy in schools. As I said, they're going against authority. How are you able to manage that particular period? You want them to get a good education, but there are things that are just going wrong in school. Where do we begin? Beyond
their education as parents, if you have an adolescent, please be interested in their life.
Okay.
When you come back from work, you have just 2 or 3 hours to spend with them before they go to bed.
Yeah.
Don't let it just be, how is your assignment? What did you learn in school today? Ask about their life. How was the break time today?
Okay.
How are your friends today? That shows that you are actually interested in their life, not just in their grade alone.
Okay.
And this helps them to feel more at home with you as a parent. They know that you are not just a chore kind of parent that just want good grade alone.
Okay.
You want their life to be better. You are interested in their life. You are interested in the association. The moment an adolescent knows that a parent is not interested in the association they have, then they can have any kind of association without you knowing how bad things are already getting with them.
Okay.
So you must be interested in their life beyond what you are paying for. Because most time, that 1 hour, parents just want to be sure that their money is being utilized well.
Yeah.
But beyond that, what about their life? That is what is important.
I have to say thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Hopefully a parent out there has learned something fantastic. We would love for you to comment on social media about this. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And of course, we'll be looking out. Hopefully you'll be able to respond to some of the questions as well online. All right then, we still have quite a bit coming your way. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. Stay with us.
Alrighty then, it's our final guest here, and we have been joined by the controversial one, and I say that with my full chest. Okoro Blessing Nkiruka, popularly known as Blessing CEO, a certified controversial relationship and mental expert, as seen on her bio on Instagram. This is where we got it from. So which was it first, controversial or certified?
Let's do certified. So it's certified controversial.
Yeah,
okay.
Certified controversial.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
How are you doing? And it's so interesting to know that you're not Lagos-based. No. So you bring all that energy from Enugu. How was it like for you growing your brand?
It was tough.
I can imagine.
So that's why I chose controversy as a strategy, because I know that the common Nigerians like what they hate.
So was that deliberate, you choosing controversy, and was it controversy based on the relationship angle of things, or was it controversy based on your personality? Which was it?
It was deliberate. Like I used to say, controversy is a strategy for me, because I understand that the Nigerian market, if you want to pull their attention, you need to be able to carve a niche for yourself, do something different. So on the relationship part, yes, because there are some things about relationship that people do not want to talk about. So I realized that I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, okay, let's go there.
Okay. And now talking about relationships and what people don't want to talk about, let's talk about your relationship.
Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been in this relationship?
3 years.
3 years.
Okay. Is that not too long? I don't know. Everybody's always talking on Instagram saying 3 years is too long to be in a relationship. I'm going to get married by now.
I've been married before.
No.
And I've been divorced.
No.
Wow. Yeah, I married very young. I married when I was...
You heard that first here. Nobody knows that about you.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What age did you get married?
18.
Oh, wow.
I dated the guy. I started dating at 15. Topic for another day.
Wow. Yeah, jinx.
15, got married at 18. I was just 1 year, 6 months in the marriage, and it didn't work out.
What happened? I mean, you like controversy. Tell us.
Domestic violence, one, and I felt I was naive. I didn't know what I was getting into. As an 18-year-old, I didn't even know what I was going. But domestic violence was the main reason I had to just, take a walk so that I don't die.
So I guess that's why you're taking your time now.
Yes, so I'm not in a hurry.
Not in a hurry.
I already have kids, so I'm not in a hurry. I'm
You have
taking my
kids?
time.
How many kids do you
I
have?
2 kids.
Get out of town. I'll throw this at you. That's domestic violence. I'm sorry, but no, you don't.
I do.
How has
serious?
it been? How has it been for you managing your life, your career, and your kids?
Yeah, my career, I worked before. I worked with the Nigerian Police Force Pension, and I wasn't getting what I wanted. So I always tell people, if you want to combine your career, kids, and everything, you need to love what you do. When you love what you do, it becomes an everyday, it becomes a normal thing for you. So probably I love what I do, so it's not a job for me.
Okay.
So how do you convert what you do on Instagram to money for yourself?
First of all, like I used to say, when you can pull crowd, you can make money. So long as people are watching you and listening to you, you can monetize them. So anything you tell them, they take. If you don't give them, how will they take it?
Nice one.
Okay, well, Blessing, I'm going to go there. So we all know, I got to find out about you, about that one instance with you and the whole...
A child of that drink, okay.
the whole house
My
thing and
thing.
everything.
Yes.
And it was big. It was on social media. It tarried for a while. There was you with the house and the apology and all of that. I'm sure that also has had an influence in you getting out there, people knowing who you are, especially here in Lagos, because we had never heard about you before. But in a nutshell, can you tell us about that experience and what you gleaned from it and what you took away from it, whether it helps your controversy or no?
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience. First of all, it wasn't as serious as people thought it was on the social media.
Really?
It wasn't that deep. So we're just catching cruise. So after the cruise, I didn't even know it was going to go that viral. It was just something we wanted to do. It was my birthday, and I wanted to just, catch cruise with people. And it went, out of the box. So I saw that people actually took it very personal.
Yeah.
So I decided to just use that to key into, to also teach people. Because at that point, people didn't want to believe it was cruise. They just wanted to enjoy the flow. So there was nothing at that point I was going to say that was going to make them understand. I just said, okay, let me just tell them sorry.
Okay.
Let's just go with the cruise. So I decided to use it to also teach, to tell people, yeah, don't live fake life. You live fake life, they will handcuff you.
Yeah. So talking about that now, there's a lot of there's a pressure that girls face to be a certain way and to live a certain way because of expectations and society. Now, without your experience, how can you say what exactly? Because I wouldn't want to believe that throughout the entire process, it was cruise for you. At some point, you must have felt the pressure.
Yeah.
So tell us about that pressure moment.
Yeah, I felt that because I realized something. I celebrated my birthday. This thing happened. People who came and celebrated with me were people that still came and insulted me. Right? So sitting back, and if I want to look at it from that perspective, I used to tell people, success is success. Anytime you attain it, you'll be celebrated.
True.
Yeah.
The same people who still insulted me still came back again to say sorry when they saw that you did not die in the situation. It simply means just take your time. These people will adjust.
Yeah.
Right? So just anytime you get there,
Yeah.
they're still going to carry the news and they're still going to celebrate you. So that's what I'm just telling every young person out there.
I'd like us to see one or two of the things that you've done, why you're so controversial, why people actually tune to your channel and everything. But before that, I just wanted to make a point and note that you have a certain quality with your voice that I really love. I hope we can work together sometime. But let's see something that she's known for, and we'll be back to talk to you some more, maybe even in the kitchen.
Are couples supposed to have access to each other's phone? This is something a lot of people who come to my office, my clients, get to ask me. My husband is always feeling through my phone. My wife is always feeling through my phone. Is she supposed to have access to my phone? Phone has been one thing that has damaged a lot of relationship and marriage. This small, tiny phone. Now, are couples, are you supposed to have access to your wife's phone, to your husband's phone, to your girlfriend's phone, to your boyfriend's phone? The question is, no. You are not supposed to have access to their phone. They are supposed to give you access to their phone. Dear beautiful women, don't you ever let a man tell you he does not want you again more than once. What did I say? Don't you ever allow a man tell you that he does not want you again twice. Hi guys, my name is Okoro Blessing Nkiruka, and I am popularly known as Blessing CEO. On this vlog, I'm going to be throwing light into a very important topic. Yes, the disadvantage of marrying an already made man. I'm actually on this table because every woman wants an already made man. Yes, including me. I like them rich. Yes, we all want an already made man because women are built out of finished.
Very interesting topics there. I'm wondering how you get along your daily life and how do people regard you after they've seen these topics and your opinion on them?
Yeah, good. Like when I get to meet people, they just keep saying, I get this a lot, Blessing, don't stop doing what you're doing. Don't stop doing what you're doing. So it just makes me understand that, okay, it's actually a movement.
Yeah.
Because that's what I get. Because people get to say, Blessing, you say things ordinarily people wouldn't want to say, people wouldn't want to share. So I just feel I'm maybe daring.
Before we let you go to the kitchen, I want to ask you a question. What has been or is or will be the most uncomfortable topic you will have to discuss about as a therapist?
Maybe gay, homosexualism,
okay,
or bisexual, because I hate being judgmental. I hate it. So, but because I'm trying to accept people for whatever reason you choose to do what you do, but I don't like to talk about it because it's something I might get a bit judgmental.
Okay.
So I just shy away from the topic and just let people do their thing.
Well, we wouldn't judge you for your hunger this morning.
In any case, but I just wanted to know that you were very honest with that. And actually, that also shows in the pieces that you put out, your honesty on your opinion, everything. For you to have said that, yes, you could get a bit judgmental, that's very honest. I just wanted to.
I think I'm going to hop on your page and go and before we go to the kitchen, we've been having this conversation.
Yes.
And now on single streets.
Yes.
So we want to know if your take on asking a guy or a guy asking you your 5-year plan on a first date.
On the first date.
Yeah, it's okay, but
let's go to the kitchen while you answer this question.
After you.
Welcome. But what is your take on?
Hey, Mama.
Do you think is appropriate?
Yeah, thank you. Some people are psychosexual.
Yeah.
Yes, so they just want to know if you're intelligent. Some people want to know if you have. Some women don't have vision. So if a man asks you that question, means that he wants to know if you're vast or if you're just shallow.
Nice. Thank you, Jerry. Mazino, I hope the speaker was loud enough.
It is connecting, Mazino.
Hey, to each his own. I just say wait till the second
All right,
day.
what do you have for us in the kitchen this
Yes,
morning?
we have Chef Ty in the building, and he's prepared something special for you to taste.
Okay.
And you want to tell us one more time?
This is boiled and wrapped plantain with vegetable sauce.
All right.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to put this right here. And as you can see, the unripe plantain looks amazing.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah. So this is for you to taste. Please go ahead. Right there. You're not good with cutlery? You want to use your hand?
No.
All right. Are you too far from there? Are you
Too far? Can I get up?
Yes,
yeah.
you can.
Just let's shift you forward a little.
Yes.
All right.
So I have to sit.
Yes, please. Please do. Please do.
The fork is supposed to be in the left or the right?
It just depends. It's actually supposed to be in the left, but
Please help me.
You can drop the knife and be comfortable.
go ahead.
I'm trying to be posh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This looks so healthy.
Yeah, and rich.
Honestly, the colors.
This is
right.
mother-in-law is coming for breakfast.
I'm telling you.
Let's get the kitchen ready. What do you think, Blessing?
It's spicy.
It's spicy. Is it connecting?
Yeah, it's connecting.
It's connecting.
I like the spice.
All
The
right.
fish, the...
All right then.
Chef Ty.
Thank you so much, Chef Ty. Thank you so much, Blessing, for being a part of this show. Thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show. Mazino,
Yes.
what do you have to say?
I want to say we have so much more to talk with you, Blessing, and after the show we're going to be having those conversations because there's plenty I want to get off my chest regarding you music.
I can't wait to see what your comments are on social media about what they talked about just now. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure you use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And what's happening tomorrow?
We have our
Wonder Woman Wednesday. That's who run the world.
Girls.
All right, your view is next. Tomorrow we're going to see you 7 a.m. to 8:45. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.